Your life is best. Whatever you do, doesn't matter what you do.
Okay, today Matilda's gonna do a talk for us.
Today I'm gonna do a talk. Today we're gonna have a day off at work. And we're gonna rock out tonight. And we're gonna have fun and make our lives free. We get to go around the world in adventure. Just because our boss doesn't let us go outside, it's a new world. And we're gonna go outside. If he won't let us go out, and we're gonna go out anyway and break our lives through and rock out and go burn houses down and suffer and beg for food and get in people's houses, break into them, get food, steal it. And then have a party!
I'm about to play a game called Dino. I got a webcam. I got to learn all this stuff. Dino D-Day. And it takes place in World War II. You get to choose between Allies and the Axis. But except for that, there's dinosaurs and stuff. Anyway, I'm going in. I don't really feel like, oh geez, doing anything meaningful. I'm shooting a dinosaur, and I'm dead. Just like that. Just dead. And there's that guy came to my rescue. Thanks, dude. I'm on the blue team. I'm Pyrotech V. Okay. Well, Demented Angel and Ass Nips and those are some of my teammates. All right, let me get back in here. And here I go. I'm in the game. And wait, what am I supposed to? This is fire! I'm getting attacked already. I got killed again by a dinosaur. All right. So I'm going to call this episode of Burning Death Star, how many ways can I die in a video game with dinosaurs? Okay. Yeah, I heard somebody else. There he is again. I got somebody. But we lose.
My advice to you, start drinking heavily.
You getting upgraded? No! Is it Windows 10? Is Windows 10 striking again?
9, 8,
Oh,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
oh dear.
1.
I don't know where I am. What's restarting? I don't think they can hear you. Andrew Danger Brittle. Hi, welcome to the Monday Night Comedy Show. I'm Andy. You might have heard in the background J Money, the motherfucking hawk, in the background. There's a lot of weirdness going on right now, but mainly it's Windows 10 deciding to update Kruger's computer without our permission. So we got to time those things out a little bit better, like at 2 in the morning.
Get attacked.
Yeah. All right. Give a book.
Do that. Let's
Give
It's
a book.
okay. It's okay.
Kruger.
You're in charge. Yeah.
Hey,
We're gonna start the show, but
You're live.
hey,
we're live right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just it doesn't matter.
Oh my god. StreamYard doesn't even know.
My StreamYard is muted.
He doesn't need to. He's got a mic.
I've got a mic. I'm gonna mute this so you can hear me. There we go. This is Toby, the Monday Night Comedy Show, comedy bear. No, Toby was the bear in the aughts. I'm sorry. This is Whitey. It is time to kill Whitey, and don't type that, or Facebook will block you for 3 days. It is considered hate speech. It is, and I mean, on our end, it's just killing a little cute teddy bear. But yeah. Anyway, this is our 599th Monday Night Comedy Show. Let's kill the bear. Kill Whitey. Oh, it's so visceral and horrible. Put that over there as a reminder to other comedy show bears. But I'm gonna have to figure this out. This is the show. Let's do book club. Oh my god, good Lord! I want to bring some people on before we do book club. Hang on. All right, we'll do that after. Fuck it. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna add some people to the stream, and now I'm gonna go like, hey, wait a tick. I'm gonna do solo here. We're reading a book. This is the Monday Night Comedy Show Book Club, where we read a page. We read a page of a volume of Forgotten Lore. Give me an eye right here. All right, so this is Full House. Stephanie, Picture Me Famous. That's right, it's that Stephanie, the middle Tanner child. And this is book 1 of 12. There are 12 Stephanie books. I don't know if it's a series, but I like to think it is. And eventually it becomes Choose Your Own Adventure, and it's going to be like just a bloody game of Pitfall. Oh. No, when she has a haunted past, let's cut her some slack. This is the book that we're reading. Page 24 is the page. The celebrity reader right now is your friend and my friend, J Money, the motherfucking hawk, Caw.
Caw.
All right. You're fine. Don't touch my face. Get off me.
Hey everyone, Danny said, taking off his jacket and hanging it on the hook by the door. Did you get dinner finished, honey? Becky called to Jessie, bending down to hug the twins as they ran to her. Just then the phone rang. Someone get that, Danny yelled on top of Comet's barking and the ringing phone. Stephanie stopped playing to see if it was either Darcy or Allie calling her. Michelle answered it, with one finger still in an ear. Hold on, she said, walking over to Stephanie and holding out the portable phone to her. It's for you. Stephanie took the phone and put it to her ear. Hello? Hello, this is Mrs. Dominic, your neighbor. Yes, Stephanie said. Can I help you? Look, I'm sorry to bother you, but could you turn down the volume on your radio? and maybe you could change the station while you're at it. We usually like music too, but the dog is howling and my husband is getting a headache. Of course, Stephanie sighed. No problem. Thanks, dear. I appreciate it. It's really driving Daisy crazy. Stephanie clicked the button and hung up. She
J Money, the motherfucking hawk. Caw-caw. Reading page 24 of Picture Me Famous, Stephanie Tanner self-help book. Don't read ahead in your home versions or your leather-bound collections. Make sure you read the book with us. Next week is not only our 600th show, but it's also page 25, which means it can rent a car now. So there you go. Yeah. What? Goodness me. Sorry, I have to put this thing in here. We're kind of running on skeleton crew. That doesn't excuse my behavior, of course, but Nanotaka Studios in North Minneapolis. Everybody clap every time I say that. Yes. There's like a crazy. Somebody built a house in the stage where we usually. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there you go. It's a little fishing shed. But it's pretty cool. That's why we're kind of on. It's weird here. Anyhow, but we're all streaming because we want to keep you safe, and we want you to keep your family safe by wearing masks, wash your hands. That's people are going to start chanting that till you're blue in the face, because they can't say vote off and vote early, etc., etc. But please keep your loved ones safe if you are traveling. Go out with a bang. It was dark. I don't know what that meant. I'm sorry. Anyway,
if you're traveling, go out with a bag.
Wow, kids.
More veiled threats.
Wow.
Andrew Brynildson. We have some great folks here tonight. We have somebody representing Los Angeles County out in Los Angeles, California. It's Mr. Josh Floorhog, which we have.
Hey.
And Josh, you're looking great. The California Sea Air agrees with you.
I've been working out a lot in COVID because the whole time before COVID, this Russian guy at my job called me chubby, and I just want the world to come back so I can not be chubby. Really want to stick it to just one person who I mildly am friends with.
I don't know if you saw that, but Wendy Mayberry was trying to kiss you through the.
Adorable.
Just try. I try to do that too.
They're all doing it. Oh,
everybody. Wait, hang on.
Just lean in. Just. Oh.
I don't. What am I trying to do?
I'm kissing David Harris.
I'm going to eat you, Kruger.
It's probably the safest way to do these things.
Now I'm kissing Wendy. Now I'm kissing St. May if I can reach my head up high enough.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait, no. I get you all. I just found
I'm kissing one of the Andes.
I barely know y'all kids, so, I mean...
This is just a big old smooch fest. We're not allowed to do this, you guys. This is the reason 9 months later we're all still here.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so
very always locked down. It's because the second I get around people, I'm smooching.
It's very the only way we could get away with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Well, you bring up a good point, Josh, because that's all our time for tonight. So thank you guys so much for being a part of the Monday Night Comedy Show. Join us in about 5 seconds, and we'll start over, shall we? All right. Sure. We'll pretend we read. We already read. It was good, and I was extremely charming. I hadn't yet talked to Josh Floorhog, but to hell with him. We'll get to him later in the show. But here's what we got to do. We're gonna bring everybody. So hi, everybody. We're still waiting on a Nick Piontek, who's one of our comic in residences. We brought back the comic in residence program. We got Nick Piontek and Patrick Ryan Bauer writing 5 brand new minutes just for you.
Hey,
week after week.
It's 5.
And
it'll be 5.
Yeah. And we have on December 7th, starting up her own Comic in Residence run, is Rebecca Wilson.
Ooh,
She's gonna be writing new stuff too with you guys. So
Fantastic.
new
gonna be
stuff. What's that like? I
new
don't write
stuff. Come on, you guys. We haven't seen you in months. What are the odds of you doing a joke we've heard?
Oh, I'm planning on doing. That's my whole set. Is this
Yeah.
the stuff you guys have heard?
I mean,
Fine.
that's why we
But
asked you to be
no,
around.
and we have a newcomer here at the Money, but I think she's having some technical issues with her connection. So, but Allie Bunker may or may not be joining us tonight. This just in, she just sent us a note on Facebook saying it is still bad. So that's okay. We'll get Allie Bunker on soon. And we ready with the video? All right. So the last couple of weeks, we've been showing some films from Joey Hamburger, local comic and playwright, and he makes some really funny videos. So we've been learning all about Zach LaCreme, his alter ego. So this is the final Zach LaCreme video that Joey Hamburger has to offer. Hopefully he'll make more. Enjoy.
It's not easy. If it was easy, I would be good at it.
These lessons are not lessons that you are going to get in a book, and that's because Zach can't read.
What's pizza? It's round, like the planet. And it's flat, also like the planet.
Cooking is a mystery, and after you take this class, it's going to be an even greater mystery.
Some chefs use the oven, some used a microwave, a pizzazz. I'm going to teach you how to cook inside of a trash can.
Zach LaCreme can't cook. And that's the magic.
A wood fire. It's just a great wood fire taste. You're not going to believe how much flavor the trash can add.
You are not going to believe how much plastic a trash can has.
You find a wrapper to a mozzarella cheese stick. That's going to add flavor. That's going to make this thing hot.
Oh, what's this? It's not a pepperoni, it's a yogurt lid.
I used to be the head chef of the Pizza e la Pasta, which is Italian for the pizza and the pasta.
He was actually fired for speaking to his customers in only Italian, which would infuriate them.
That's a spicy meatball. See, it sounds Italian, but it's not. This is a little secret of mine. I call it homemade wine.
Most winemakers like to get their grapes from Napa or France.
I'm going to teach you that the best grapes for making wine are at Cub Foods. Take our grapes, we're going to put it in a blender, put it in there with somebody else's wine. Smell, bad. Taste, warming. I think the whole act of eating is vulnerable and dangerous. And I want my customers to feel that.
Picture everything that you know about cooking. Well, in 15 minutes of this class, you're not going to know it anymore.
I want a customer to walk away and think, this taste is never going to leave my mouth.
Don't take this class to cook. Don't take this class to learn. Don't take this class.
If you've never had food, you're going to love this class.
I'm Zach LaCreme, and this is my master class.
Super good. That was Zach LaCreme by Joey Hamburger. If you're on YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube anyway, hop over to Joey Hamburger and subscribe so you can see all of his videos. We're going to show a bunch more videos that he's done over in the next coming weeks and months. But if you have a video that you're very proud of and think is really hilarious, like an 8th grade English video that you made with your friends in the woods behind the junior high, instead of writing an actual 2-page report, that's the teacher. She liked our creativity. So anyway. In the comments, please tell me that you've done that before. You've made a video that makes everybody in the classroom roll and roll. The teacher doesn't get it. And sometimes you might mention the Crucible like 3 times. That's, Did they learn something? Did you use actual period pieces and stuff? Okay. Well, your parody game was fucking strong. Hell yeah, it is. It's J Money the motherfucking Hawk. Caw. We do need some people to caw. It's
caw.
Very empty there. Oh, you poor thing.
It's kind of bad. Oh my god. Hey, gang, our next guest. I'm gonna bring everybody on screen here. God, this is how they announced the cast of the Avengers Part 17 at San Diego Comic-Con. We got J Money the Hawk as. There we go. What? That's what we hear. Yeah, it's a sensitive mic. That's what she said. I got nothing. Never mind. Let's bring our next comic. Our first comic. Jesus Christ, we've been here for 4 hours already. I apologize, everybody. But it sure is good to see your next comic virtually. I'd like to see him in person and touch his face, but we can't do that for another couple months. Put your hands together, everybody here in studio, on our virtual studio, watching from home. David Harris, welcome back to the Monday.
All right, get ready for the disaster. All right. What am I going to talk about, right, guys? I used to think my parents would fight over dumb shit. Can I say shit here? It's too late. And now that I have a roommate, I understand that dumb crap is the most important part. Like who cares if the entire relationship when you argue over about the entire relationship when you argue over the fan every day, you know? Like that's the most important part, right? Like I had a roommate and he always wanted the fan off when we'd be in the living room and I wanted it on. I'd be like, okay, we can turn it off. And then I'd walk away and just be like, I hate him. I want that damn thing on. We're getting a divorce. I think it's because my dad was like that with my mom. Like they had that relationship where my dad would be driving down our block a few seconds away from our house on a hot summer day, and he would turn the air off, and my mom would just start hitting him. Alan, what are you doing? And he'd be like, I'm preparing. And we'd be like, what, to die? It's hot in here. Yeah, Dad, I can't even breathe. And my sister's like, neither can I. Right, Jackie? Okay, she's out. All right. And then we found out later that my dad was doing it because he'd be like, I don't want hot air blowing on me when I turn the car back on. It's like, well, we don't want hot air blowing on us now. You know? Isn't that right, Mom? Mom? Okay, she's out. All right. Well, it gets hot later. Well, it's hot now. You know, Dad? Dad? Oh, I thought you were out. You were just silently upset. Okay. So now anytime I'm in a relationship, like 5 years ago, I'm extra careful to make sure to keep the air on, like in the car or off, whatever you want. Do you need some wine? New boyfriend? Whatever you got, you know? Can I offer you a new car? So it's happening. But I think I am turning into my parents, like, let's talk about pillows. That's important. I'm turning into my dad because I got to be comfortable at all times. Like right now I'm uncomfortable. Well, I'm uncomfortable anyway, but I'm like physically uncomfortable too. I used to think he was nuts because he'd have like all these pillows around him when he'd be on the couch, and he'd have to have an exact position because. It's like, can I get a pillow? It's like, no, I'm using that for the bottom side portion of the left elbow right here. It's like, okay. That's not funny. Let's move on. I don't even know how many minutes I've done, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. Just screw it up. So I know this is a little controversial, this next part. I know I'm going to get a little pushback, but never really been a huge fan of dogs. Let me explain. Okay. I know. People are like, are you the devil? I'm like, yes. Here's the thing, guys. Growing up, I got bit by a dog, okay, in a dream. And it was very scary. That's a scary situation that can happen to anybody. And now I'm like, oh, it could happen, you know? It could happen at any point. Like, cause there's no dogs in my house right now, but like I'd go over to the neighbor's house and they'd have 2 dogs, and I was a skinny kid. Okay, shut up. I was skinny, and I would go over there, and the dogs would jump on me, big dogs, and then my buddies Nate would be like, "Yo and Brandy, get down." A little late, you know. How about David get up? David. Okay, he's down for the count. He's down for the count. Now it's like if I see a dog, I'm like I don't know, like I'm trying to like accept, you know, how like be more accepting of dogs. Like they're growing on me, like but I'll pet it like this and then run. Like I'll be like, hey, and then I'm out of there. I did see this girl with her dog outside the bar a few months ago, like several months back, and I was like, that's a really cute dog. And she goes, it's up for adoption. Oh, it's not that cute. I guess we had a cat. It got diabetes though. The same week my mom started working for the American Diabetes Association, which is a little weird. I was like, Mom, you can't work for the American Cancer Society. Me and Jackie, all you have left. Okay. Mom? Okay, she's dead. She worked for the wrong place. I had a roommate that had a cat though, and we went shop. I came home from a road gig, and almost the middle of the night, and she wasn't there, and the cat had no food, so I had to go to the store and buy it at 2 a.m. And I come out with the food, and there's a guy in the parking lot. He's like, "Excuse me." I'm like, "Nope, get in my car." I'm like, now's not the time to talk. Like, I'm not dying for this cat, you know, because I don't think we're going to be talking. I think we're going to be. I could get stabbed or something. I don't know. Let's see. I think that's almost about it. I've been trying to cook lately. I know you guys. I didn't take Joey's master class, but I should have probably. But every time I try to cook, there's like, and then I have to clean after, and there's all this water that pours over the sink, and like a little bit, like because I haven't gotten it fixed. And so now I just look like I piss my pants every time I'm washing the dishes, which is the worst. You know, I don't have anybody over anymore now because I don't have a roommate, but I have to walk around and be like, pretending people are like, no, this isn't I didn't piss. I had to clean the dishes. And there's no one there anyway. So it's almost like me talking to I'm crazy. I have to talk to myself. That's what I was saying. So but it also, like, I have to change, like, every time I got to do dishes, I got to change my pants, which is weird. It's like every time I change my pants, do I have to do dishes? Like, it's an odd situation. So I don't know. We'll see. Hey, you guys been fun. I'm David Harris. Thanks.
Humans of the internet, give it up for David Harris.
David Harris, live from North Minneapolis, almost Robbinsdale.
I missed your face, David Harris.
I miss you.
Love
you guys.
Josh,
do you miss my green and I have this green and blue. I was like, I just want to be a person of the earth when I came.
It looks. It was actually stated by Kat Morgan. She says that looks like an unused green screen. And I add, what's the point, David? I mean, you should be.
Yeah, David, you have all the ability to put anything you want back there.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't have any pretension.
Oh. Well, we have plenty of pretension here at the Monday Night Comedy Show. So much so that I'm going to introduce our next comic, who is a member of the illustrious Comic in Residence program here at the Monday Night Comedy Show. This is his second week of 8, where he's doing brand new minutes just for you good people, either online or online because of this global pandemic. So here to do 5 new is Comic in Residence. Everybody clap, make him feel very welcome. Ryan.
Yay!
Hi, everybody. Hi. This is not my second week. Feels like a lot of weeks. So we got Thanksgiving coming up and then on into the holidays, which means it is an excellent time to curl up with a horror movie. That doesn't mean that. You just should do that all the time. Shudder, I hear, is cheap. But I am a huge fan of horror movies. I like watching them. And that's I just watch them. I don't like reenact them or anything. But I've noticed some tropey stuff, some stuff that occurs in multiple horror movies, and I just kind of wanted to go over some of this stuff. And one of my favorite tropes is the slow moving killer. You know what I mean? This is popularized by Jason Voorhees. That it like doesn't fucking matter how fast they are. It could be Flojo running away, and then Jason's there at the fucking finish line with machete. Like, oh, sorry. And what I like to think is that there's actually a bunch of Jasons. That you know what I mean? Like that there didn't used to be. Although this theory is bolstered by the fact that multiple actors have played Jason, John Gillette, Kane Hodder, Rock Hudson, and but I like to think like Jason was watching like some late night TV and then he just caught a showing of Amigos, and then just was like, oh, this is a fucking great idea, and then put out a classified and got a bunch of people and a bunch of hockey masks and was like, fucking, let's do it to it. I'm going to start chasing them. They're going to run that way. Trust me. Boom. And part of what I like about this theory is that it means canonically the Friday the 13th movies and Three Amigos are in a shared universe. This is not a huge trope, but this is just more of a thing I want to impart to horror filmmakers. You never have to kill the dog. Just never. Just don't do it. This goes for all pets too, including Cujo. Just don't fucking do it. Don't kill the dog. It doesn't add anything. Nighttime. This is a big one. This is most horror movies. I'm like, look, I get it. It's dark at night, and some people are scared of the dark because they are weak little piss babies who would rather bathe in the cancerous rays of the sun than eat a fucking carrot once in a while. Now, setting an entire movie at night is more busted up and overused than a body pillow at an anime convention. Stop. And you're forgetting that daytime can be scary as hell. There's plenty of terrifying things that happen during the day. It heralds the start of the workday. For example, okay, so during the day, number one, pregnancy test. Okay? That's some scary ass shit. All right? Because you don't know. It could be fine. It could be fine. Or they could be like, I want to keep it, and you're like, oh no! And the next thing you know, you're dressing like shit and you're uploading photos to Facebook like, look at this thing. Oh god. Number two, atomic bomb. Totally happened during the day. And when that shit hits and your nasal passages begin to fill with your own boiling eyeballs, it's not going to be less scary just because it's 3 p.m. But just remember, no matter how scared you are the lucky one. Yes, unlike your family that lives out in the suburbs who will die slowly from radiation poisoning. Except for your uncle who will choke on a soup bone. I don't know why. Number 3. Having to take an urgent poop. Okay, this can happen at night, but it's always worse and scarier during the day. This is Betty. Oh yeah. Time out for Betty, huh?
All right.
Isn't she cute? She is very little. She is my little dwarf kitty. This is as big as she is going to get.
Aww.
Yes. She's miserable. She is lovely. We love her. All right. Goodbye, Betty. So yes, having to take an urgent poop, infinitely more frightening during the day because you're more likely to be in your car, and there's more likely to be extra traffic, and for sure you're going to get to the gas station and kind of do the cramp walk in there, And then right before you get in there, some asshole who eats nothing but steak and lead shot is going to get into that bathroom right before you do so he can take his annual growler. And this is something that dudes do too. I don't know why they fucking do it, but they just like, I'm just gonna hold on to my shit for like a couple months and then use a public restroom. They do. That's not funny. They just fucking do that, and I don't know why. And it takes forever. Like, mother, eat a fucking salad, dude. Jesus Christ. Brains. Okay, we've all heard it. But people don't put enough fucking respect on the Return of the Living Dead. The only fucking movie where the zombies eat the fucking brains. But like, it's like a huge zombie trope that no one ever thinks to trace it back to the greatest movie of all time, which is The Return of the Living Dead. It's my favorite fucking movie. Watch it with somebody you love. Watch it with somebody you hate. Watch it alone. I don't care. It's hilarious. It is the greatest zombie comedy ever made, and it makes other zombie comedies look like horrible bullshit. I don't have a lot to say about this, except for that if you could score a UK copy, that's got the entire actual original soundtrack on it. The US version, for whatever reason, they couldn't get the rights to the damned song. I know, right? But an amusing anecdote I heard from the filming of the movie is that there is a scene where Linnea Quigley strips down and dances on a headstone. Mm-hmm. And the producer, apparently walking by during filming of this, saw this and went to the director, Dan O'Bannon, co-creator of Alien, and said, hey, fucking no, you cannot show Bush in an R-rated movie. Confused by this and apparently unsure of exactly what was wrong with this, asked Linnea Quigley to shave her pussy. Which, also confused, like, sure, all right, fine. Comes back, they start filming again. This producer comes back by and is like, no, you don't understand. You can see your fucking lips. You can't do this. And this is gospel that they had to make a fake pussy to put over her real pussy so that you could not see pussy lips. So come for the brains, stay for the fake pussy. It's a lovely movie, 10 out of 10. I don't know why I talked about this with my precious time that I have here. Someone's shouting out Dark Star. Yes, he was in John Carpenter's first movie. Dan O'Bannon was. In fact, fun fact, Dark Horse Comics is now doing an adaptation of the original script for Alien that Dan O'Bannon did. This is not what you came here for. Not just that part, just any of what I have done tonight or any night, really. Okay, last on the trope list that I'm going to try to tackle here is midnight. Like, watch movie. Shit's going to go down at midnight, man. It's midnight. Like, who the fuck cares, man? Time does not exist the way we like to think it does, okay? We just assigned numbers to it all so it makes sense of our fucking dumb, boring lives, all right? And we didn't even do it in increments of 10 the way any real person should have done it. I mean, do you think like some demonic specter on another plane of existence has a wristwatch? Like to come and invade now, but gotta wait a little bit here. It's not quite fucking midnight, the witching hour. You know, like he couldn't just go to a different state. Like, no, they're waiting for like the blood of the innocent to get spilled, or a grave to be desecrated, or simply to be summoned, you know, via ritual. Which, if you do that, I'm just going to say, go ahead and do it during the day. Not going to be less scary. Do not forget the salt. That's going to do it for me. Thank you. The weakest closer you're going to hear tonight.
Give it up for Patrick Ryan Power.
Peebo, that was. We're gonna call it week 2 of 8 for the comic in residence, because you were sick a couple of weeks, and so we gotta prorate you.
I'm old now. I get sick like really easy.
Right? Yes, I think I'm a year and a half older than you, Peebo.
I smoke more than you do.
I have just started self-medicating more than I've ever done in my life because of recent political events and like the last 4 years. But yep.
It got
Speaking
real
of
fucking
weed,
quiet.
It really did. I don't know, a bunch of narcs watching the show.
I was listening to whoever's background music I can hear.
Oh, somebody has some soothing cartoon music going on in the background.
Yeah.
So it goes well with the Monday Night Comedy Show. It does. Oh my God. So how many of you have purchased, I'm going to trap, this is entrapment, Wendy. Hey, check this out. How many of you performing or watching have purchased a comedy CD within the last 2 months?
Well,
Just
globally,
a couple
only
of you.
100 of you
Well,
behind. So
wow. Did you realize that she relies on you buying the album so her child can get his treatments for polio?
really, it's
And-
Star Wars toys, but okay.
I was gonna say,
And-
I was polio
and
treatment.
also-
Star Wars toys.
Tom coming with 2
And also, he
different
wants
ones.
Jabba's Desert Skiff playset.
I have a computer that just stays on and plays Wendy's album on Spotify over and over.
See,
24 hours.
That's a good way to fuck the man and put up to 17 cents in Wendy Mayberry's pocket.
That's upwards to one Star Wars toy a decade.
How many
Think about
Desert
it, you know?
Skiffs variants would that equal?
We're actually looking at the ST Walker from Mandalorian is the current.
You know, if you've got a kid with you at Target, no one is going to suspect you of shoplifting.
That's true.
That's just
Super true.
talking about buying
I
this
should let
shit.
you borrow him, P-Bow, and do our Christmas acquisitions for us.
Oh, look at-
This seems
Well, no,
like a good
I think-
idea,
I think
broadcasting
he
over the
P-Bow
internet.
meant
This,
you, Wendy.
This fraud.
He accidentally grabbed that 72-inch TV. He thought it was his. It's like the one we have at home.
Kids
It's
so
the first
strong.
time someone's offered to borrow their kid to Peebo.
He looks
Yeah,
so
I would
reliable.
trust dropping your kid off at
Wendy, you
Target
might
with
wanna
P-Bow and hoping he comes out with
you.
you.
You just might want to rethink that. I'm just.
It's amazing he's still alive, my kid, with thinking like that, isn't it?
P-Bow's going to come out of Target when he's going to be like, "Where's Grayson?" And he'll be like, "Who?"
One thing
I think
I do wanna
a day with me, okay, the kid is definitely still going to be physically alive.
Patrick, Patrick, I have to get you up here. Wanted to comment on the clearly accidentally placed trophy case that you're performing in front of.
This just happens to be the best
You
part
are,
of the house for
you
me
are the
to
most
do
humble
this.
person I've ever met,
Humble.
and you are
Yo,
have never
where
been
is
one.
The lighting the best.
Never.
Those aren't mine.
My trophies?
Honey, can you tilt the star one like a couple degrees? That it's just catching the light just so.
What?
Our one does catch the light perfectly.
It is. I like. Oh, don't try to hide it, man. Two of those trophies at least are for us. So.
See, those are his. It's the things. Those are his trophies.
Those are Ben
Those
Grimm.
microphones are too little for me. They're obviously for him.
Yes. Yep. Very good. Well, you deserve every trophy that you win, Mr. Patrick Ryan Bauer. So thank you one more time for P-Bow, everybody. Let's keep that applause going for a comic that I should have introduced 25 minutes ago, Wendy Mayberry.
Gosh, I'm such an extrovert. I really want all of you to stay on screen with me. But I'm just a quick toy primer because it is Christmas, and if you do buy my album, which would be amazing, or stream it, like Josh said, you could put 17 cents in my pocket. Just put it on repeat, put the volume down, and every morning you'll have given me 17 cents. And if I get enough oldsters to do it, because that's the kind of stuff that grannies can commit to, I can one day buy another one of these, which is the Indoraptor.
Whoa! Yes, that's awesome.
Sorry, it's an Indominus Rex. Do you want to come tell us? My kid's not set yet because I am Mother of the Year. Look at that. And then this is the best part of the whole Indominus Rex experience is you can put, say, Jack the Pumpkin King in him, and then you can get all your toys back because he poops it out. That's fantastic. And Dominus Rex, who never gets blocked up. You never have to go to the vet.
That's awesome.
So here's the deal. This toy at Target is $50, and I got a special like Black Friday. I'm like, queen of bargain hunting because I'm a single mom. $9.
Wow.
One. You should have bought all one.
Here's the best part. So it was only like one day only, and I have Grayson. So I'm trying to figure out how. So I bought it online at Target, went in this store to get it, had them double wrap it in another bag, went outside and then put it in the back seat of the car and shut the thing. And then we had to go to another store. And when I come out, Mr. Eyes all wide. And he goes, wouldn't it be great if we lived in a bigger house? And I'm like, why? Our house is plenty big for the two of us. He goes, so we could have like an Indominus Rex in the backyard. I'm like, Grayson, did you go digging? And he was like, I just sensed a beady eye staring at me. So it's not easy to hide gifts when there's only one adult in the house and you don't have any school hours and you don't have babysitters. So there's no surprises this Christmas. I wanted to call back something Josh said earlier. Josh said a Russian person shamed him into losing weight. Josh, when I lived in New York City, there was a Russian lady I worked with, and those Russians, man, I walked in one day and she goes, Wandy, you beautiful face, beautiful, but you're so fat. No one will talk you. And then ended it with, what are you going to do about this? Would you give me like kibbutz soup diet or something, or like eat the carrot sticks, make it happen? It's too big, your ass, huh? That was literally in the work environment. Fantastic. We were talking today about sexual harassment at my job. My first job out of college, my boss had a screensaver that was a lady who would strip. Like, when the screensaver would activate, this lady would walk on stage with clothes on and just start taking off. And she would end up being naked and like jamming while I was getting my performance review in my boss's office. Because that's the 90s right there. Josh, I was going to tell you a couple of things too. David Harris, God, I miss you. It's going to be so awkward when I see you again. Are you dating right now or what's happening?
No, I'm isolating.
Yeah, see? So how's that going for you? I'm a little worried. It sucks. Now it's you have like all these filters, right? Like there was already all the Tinder and Bumble filters, and now are you also sick with COVID? Like
Are you wearing a mask 24/7?
Yeah, exactly. You just put a plastic bag over your face before anything. Maybe. Anyway, so it reminded me of a story of back when we were kids. My friend Alex, I think I told this story to the Monday before, but I'm still working out how I can make it funny because it's just a funny story to me. My friend Alex was 13 and he's in Britain, and people in Europe, like parents are very different. I've been watching The Crown. I've seen what it's like, right? Anyway, so Alex was having a 13-year-old moment. And do you guys remember the CD Walkmans with the headsets? Yeah, so he was doing an exploration of his chakras, maybe, with the headphones, and it was Pour Some Sugar on Me, because that's how some kids do it. Anyway, and so he was closing his eyes because he was in the moment and he was in his jam. And when he opened his eyes, his mom had left a tray of tea and cookies. And I'm just flabbergasted. Like, it's like watching it. Oh, hello, look at that. He's growing so big. Really? Everything's instead. Maybe I should leave this tea and cookies here for you when you're done, a fresh up. I'm Southern Baptist. I would have gotten a Bible to the head. There would have been an intervention. I would have been sitting. There was a thing called the prayer room. Like our church had an extra room just for prayer. It was like a tiny little shit's gone down. We got to talk to Jesus room, and that would have been the room that I would have been taken to. Like he didn't think about all the good work that those hands could do for Jesus, and what was you doing? That's what my mom would not be making me a snack. That's all I know I need to work on that, but that to me is like, whose mother walks in on that and doesn't just turn around and leave, weirdo? Oh, I got you to this point. I want to make sure you're not too famished. make sure you're all right, really. Sorry. Okay. David Harris, before the world shut down, I don't know if I told you, my mom was pretty upset with me. She's like, baby, I don't know why you were having sex with strangers. I'm like, Mama, our cousins don't live up here. So. Really fast. I kind of maybe have told this one too, but I'm working this one out as well. So I was a very curious child. I was always very curious where babies came from. And my parents, because they were Baptists, started out very vague. They were like, oh, you know, Mama prays and then God gives her a baby. And I'm like, okay, well, there's this couple over here that's trying to adopt, so they're not good at prayer, or what is that about? She's like, right. And then she was like, well, Mommy and Daddy just lay right next to each other, and then a baby comes. And I'm like, it just like manifests, like beam in like Star Trek. And she was like, And then finally she was like, a special part of Daddy fits into a special part of Mommy, and then a baby comes. And I had watched a National Geographic special about lizards where the tail breaks off and you just grow another tail. And I'm like, all right, that makes sense. It just breaks off if you jerk on it too hard and makes a baby, right? And so I went home the next day and told everyone on the playground, if you pull on that hard enough, it will break off. And there were phone calls that night. Please do not tell your daughter that. I'm like, but it just makes sense. A hot dog gets arms, and it's like, I'm a baby. Anyway, I got two more things, and I'll leave you real fast. I'm trying to figure out which one first. You know, P-Bow is one of my favorite comics. And when I first, actually, Patrick Bauer, I will never forget, when I started doing comedy, I was so shy and I didn't know anybody, and it can feel really intimidating. And so I walked into a club and he was like, are you a comic? Kind of like that. And I went, oh, well, I just kind of, And he goes, if you're a comic, you say yes. And then if someone asks you for stage time, you say yes. And you get on stage, is how you get good. And I'm like, okay. And I remember, like, that was such a big deal because he was the first person to like notice me and say, just get up there and shut up or talk or whatever. So anyway, so P-Bow, I will never love him more. I will never forget how much I love him for that moment. But there's something else P-Bow said to me one time that I have used on stage ever since, and that is about circumcision. And recently, circumcision came back up in my mind because originally, when I was talking about snipping the G monster and giving him a penis mullet, which we all know is when you cut the front and leave the back all long, P-Bow said to me, oh, sometimes I feel like I've lost feeling in my dick. And I'm like, I think it could be drugs. And so, I'm sorry, P-Bow, to call you out like that, but it was just my favorite thing I've ever said. But the whole thing that people say not to do it is P-Bow wasn't wrong. He was saying, leave him the way God made him, right? Don't touch that. That's very good advice, right? And because every year, 118 babies bleed out from circumcisions. Did you guys know that? Like, how does that even, how does
bleed out? Bleed out?
Yeah. Cut it and they never clot and the kid dies. 118 babies per year. And that is what I think COVID is like, because most everybody's going to be just fine. But you could be the jerk that bleeds out and everyone's like, no, why did you do that? That's like, but most everybody's okay. That's my, okay. That's how I tie it. Most everybody's going to be all right. Well, I know JJ, the money motherfucking hawk, is contemplating what it would be like to bleed out from the penis as a small child. Imagine day 2, you're born, and on day 2, they're like, we're going to make a little adjustment, and then you die. That's a horrible run on Earth, really. All right, one more, and I'll leave you go. I was 12 years old, and my grandfather said one Thanksgiving before my grandmother stabbed herself in the stomach, which is a whole other story, because the turkey was dry. He said, I know, and you wonder how people get this way. This is how. He said one day when I was 12 at Thanksgiving, you don't know how good oral sex can be till you can pop your teeth out. Here's the best part, you guys. It took me till college to work that out. College. It was one of those things that sat in the back of my head, and I was like, what is he talking about? And then literally in college, like in a freshman or sophomore, like sex ed class, I was like, ba-bang! And so that is why I feel like when teeth start to come out, there are benefits that we don't really discuss in human society, and that's one of them. Anyway, I love all of you people so much. I hope you stay very safe during Thanksgiving, and I get to hug all of you in 2021.
Love you.
Give it up for Wendy Dagery.
Wendy! Yay! The album is She's Not From Around Here from Stand Up Records. And there's the album art. And it's for sale everywhere a streaming comedy is able to be purchased.
That would make me feel, that'd be my Christmas wish.
Yep. Go to standuprecords.com. You can go to Spotify. You can go to iTunes,
Pandora.
Amazon, you name it. I just want to, I don't know if you have been seeing this,
sorry.
but
Peabow's gone.
Peabow's cat finally just left.
I walked the cat.
Yeah, the cat was.
I have to say one thing really fast. I forgot to say this. You know, I worked really hard to promote that album. It has over 25,000 streams, and I felt really proud because that was an album took forever, and Stand Up Records is fantastic. And then Grayson made a Lego Minecraft TikTok, and in 1 week got 250,000 views.
No shit.
My whole life in perspective. So he's going to say, shout out to my mom. She's working real hard at comedy. Hey. And he made it by himself. Let you guys know that. It's creator.
Nice. So cool. Awesome. Thank you, Wendy. We love you, everybody. Wendy Mayberry. Wow. Standuprecords.com is follow that link that Mercy just popped up. Thank you. But if you're not ready to purchase lots of albums like the Nerd Alert album that was recorded here at the Monday Night Comedy Show featuring Twin Cities comics talking about their best geek material. I'm not saying that it's on Stand Up Records, but it sure is. And I think Dan has about 150,000 copies. So you should buy one for every member of your family.
Thank you, Mercy.
Yes. Mercy, thank you. So follow that. She's Not From Around Here. It's a fantastic album. I purchased it. And got a sticker. I got a sticker. So if you're having fun here at the Monday Night Comedy Show, you can tip the performers that you're seeing tonight via Venmo.com/Monday Night Comedy Show. If you're able, of course. So if you do have the means, we would really appreciate it so we can get all of these tips to the performers and staff here at Nano Taco Studios and the Monday Night Comedy Show. Let's bring our next guest. Oh, we got a video. It is from our friend John Wheeler, who performed at the Monday Night Comedy Show just last week. Put your hands together for his video, Underdressed and Overserved by John Wheeler from YouTube.
What an insane thing to say as if putting this on the internet's a good idea. Have you ever seen one of those no whining signs? They look kind of like a no smoking sign. They used to be hanging up all over my elementary school. The no whining signs, not the no smoking signs. I'm pretty sure you could still smoke in an elementary school back when they first hung those up. They definitely predate the invention of birth control. Where do these goddamn little things keep coming from? They never shut the fuck up. Can't they see the adults are trying to smoke? Someone should really hang up a sign. I'm impressed they showed a little restraint and didn't hang any up in the nurse's office. Help, my bone, it's sticking through the skin. And and she just taps the sign. That would be heartless and condescending, not to mention negligent, which is why they hung them up in the guidance counselor's office instead. The school psychiatrist is not here to listen to you pussy ache about your stupid baby problems. Ooh, the other kids push me around. The gym teacher touches me in the locker room. I'm going to bring my rifle to school and make everyone pay. Me. Hey, Timmy, can't you read? I don't bitch to you about my ulcer and my whore ex-wife now, do I? I was so excited to grow up, get out into the real world where people treat each other with dignity. Till I saw one in the break room of my job where I worked exclusively with other adults. How dare you? As a grown adult, I would be well within my right to tear that off the wall while maintaining eye contact with the person that hung it up and throw it in the trash. But there's a certain amount of maturity and respect that a retail establishment deserves. So I drew a dick on it. My manager got very mad and sat us all down and asked us who drew that dick. She said it was very inappropriate and very upsetting, and she felt personally attacked. So I stood up, I said, okay, listen. Can't you read?
You can subscribe to his YouTube channel. So just put in a search.
What was that called again, Andy?
Underdressed and Overserved. YouTube.
Thank
you. And if you have something that we should plug here at the Monday for our tens of people watching live from home or in a public transit bathroom, I'm not sure where you're watching this from, but I hope you're comfy. And you can rest assured we're bringing our next comic. Let's see, Nick Piontek, week 2 of 8, also comic in residence, 5 brand new minutes from our good friend Nick Dankest Mofos. Piontek.
I outdid Peebo. I bid one more dollar than Peebo. And that's what I did. Before I start, and don't start timing me because everybody seems to get cut short, I would love to say that I also made an offer that still stands to this day, that if you buy Wendy Mayberry's album and you don't like it, I will personally refund your money. The only caveat is that you have to meet me in a dark alley to get it. Because we're gonna have a conversation. Wendy Mayberry is the most savage, I'm sorry for my language, Grace and earmuffs, fucking comedian I've ever seen. And funny enough, 2 days ago, Facebook Memories had a show that I got to do with her and Robert Burrell. And you will never find somebody so savage. And I mean that as the blackest dude on this lineup tonight. She literally told David Harris to put a bag on his head. I was going to tell him to get a different haircut, but she took it like 5 minutes. I've been doing stand-up comedy for about 10 years. I wasn't even going to tell this story, but when I started, one of the first times I went to Goonies, I was probably like 6 months into comedy. I was with like a caravan of comedians, and we went and did Goonies. It was amazing back on the Main Street era for you older comics. And we were on our way back, and my car broke down. And they were like, our friend David Harris was at the show. He will come get us. And they called David on speakerphone. This is an absolutely true story. And they called David on speakerphone. They were like, hey, our ride broke down. We're about 15 minutes out of Rochester. Will you come get us? And David Harris was like, hey, I'm flirting with this girl right now, and it's going really good. You guys are on your own.
I don't remember it that way at all.
And for the first 5 years of me doing stand-up comedy, every time, because he's a better comedian than me, so he always goes up before me at like open mics because he can get whatever he wants because he's been doing it longer and he's a tremendously funny person. But I always made it a point that when he would say his North Minneapolis jokes, I would shit on them because he lives in Robbinsdale and I have lived in North Minneapolis for 18 years. And so I would always make a point to go, he lives in Robbinsdale. That's a perfect dude. Look at his haircut. I would get black dude. I would get with my set, like when I'm just like shitting on David Harris. But I'm moving to Zimmerman in like 4 days, and sadly enough, I literally have to give the North Side credit now to David Harris. I might have to buy a trap house in the North Side just to fucking keep shitting on David Harris. Just so nothing changes. I'm gonna buy like a $10,000 just crap hole that the city keeps fining me for. Just I'm like, I'm even worse in the hood than David Harris is. But please buy Wendy's album, and David Harris is a tremendously great person who lives in a way better neighborhood than I do. And up until like a week, and then it's gonna get better. I'm I'm so confused on like what comedians are writing right now. I think our COVID jokes are all going to get old, and what do we write? We write what we know. I got really, really, really upset the other day because they were trying to cancel Kevin Hart because he put his baby in a shirt that said "Zero Fucks Given," which is the name of his special. And people were trying to cancel one of the greatest comedians ever, one of the hardest working. Even if you don't like Kevin Hart works harder than anybody on the planet. And I don't know if grown adults know that babies can't read. And on Twitter, they're like, "What's that baby supposed to think?" And all this stuff. And I'm like, that baby is literally doesn't even know when it's shitting right now. It doesn't know what shirt it's wearing. Like, come on, like, let's cancel the right things. Let's, as liberals, now that one day there will be no more Donald Trump soon, let's, as liberals, concentrate on what we're canceling. They canceled the Washington Redskins. But if I give you a $20 bill, Andrew Jackson is on that $20 bill. If you don't get that joke, I'm going to drink this little bit of vodka, do a Google real quick, and see what Andrew fucking Jackson did to the Native Americans.
Yeah.
Don't time me for this. I have a good 5 minutes, but just let's figure this.
Hey, everybody, it's Learn to Talk.
It's a smart joke that I would write. I mean, but I'll just punchline. All right, he killed a bunch of Native Americans. Like a
Oh,
$20 bill. I can't buy drugs without literally Andrew Jackson's face, or groceries for that matter, or whatever you might want to think. How silly is that? How silly is that? That's what we're canceling. And no, let's concentrate on the real problems here. I did mention I'm about to move it's getting closer and closer. Everything got delayed, but I am going to be moving out of North Minneapolis for 18 years. And I might have mentioned some of this, but real quickly, I would like to tell you about the 3 greatest things that in 18 years I have ever seen in North Minneapolis. 3, the third one. I was driving on Dowling between the Super USA and my house, which is on the 40th and Queen range. I'm not going to tell you, but in that range. And I looked over and I saw an old minivan with no Cadillac converter and no muffler, with the happiest black dude I've ever, still to this day, I've never seen somebody with a smile on their face, as large. And white, black, I don't even care. I've never seen someone with just that. And it was genuine. And as I looked at him, I realized he had a full-size zoo-like boa constrictor around his neck while he was driving.
It was awesome.
Woo! That was the third best thing I've ever seen. I will tell you the second best thing I've seen in North Minneapolis next week when I do the next thing, but they're gonna get crazy. And I feel bad because I feel like I'm a pioneer. Like I'm moving to the outskirts for my family. But if I had a choice, I'd move into a worse neighborhood because I am less scared of black people than I am of the movie Deliverance.
Yeah.
At least if I get murdered in North Minneapolis, they're gonna find me in like a trash can. If I get murdered in the woods, those rednecks know where to bury a body, and I do a really good pig squeal sound. Like, when it comes between me and my, like, if I gotta impress you with a pig squeal sound, I'm gonna act the shit out of that thing and really come hard with it. I'm sorry I'm going a little. I'm gonna. Can I just keep? You guys don't mind, right? I got new jokes for you. I told you it was gonna be better. I am moving, and nobody is more excited than my neighbors to the south. They moved in 5 months ago. They saw me in a robe the first time they saw the house. And I liked having a vacant house next to me, so whenever I'd see showings next door, and I'm a realtor, so I can kind of see when there would be ones, I would just drink coffee in my front yard in my giant Jedi robe that You guys have asked me what it is right there. And kind of short on my fatty fat thighs, but I rock this shit. I'm a confident man. And especially when you talk about House Next Door, I want you to see your upper thighs. Where you're like, I'm about to see some stuff that now I'm debating whether or not I want to see it. But I have an English Mastiff and a Pit Bull, and the smell that's coming, good segue, right? The smell that's coming from that backyard is bad. It's really, really bad. Really, really bad. But my neighbors, I have a loud voice. Andy has yelled at me when we were doing live shows. Every 3 shows, Andy would yell at me for somebody coming up to me and going, hey, blah, 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 blah. And just, I have a really loud, it goes forever. You can hear me right now 3 blocks away on the north side. I promise you, I don't know what it is. I don't mean to do it. But these are the 3 best things that my neighbors have heard out of my window. These are the things that my neighbors who've never met me really, I told them, hey, my name's Nick, but they're like, you're the guy with the in the back, you smell in the front. And, but the best things that they ever yelled at me are that they've heard me scream to someone, and I'd hope that they did enough detective work when they found out who I was speaking this to, was get out of his ass. Who did this? And always the classic, what the fuck? And obviously I'm yelling at my 2 male dogs. I should have mentioned that first. I have 2 male dogs. I thought I did. Get out of his ass. Now, could you imagine you bought a house in this trying real estate market? You move in, you're moving your shit in, and all of a sudden you hear a loud voice just screaming, get out of his ass. It's not my first rodeo. This is in my voice. You can hear. This is a thing I deal with on a regular basis. Can I do one more bit, or do you guys want me to be done?
Well, we want you to be done. We have to be done. We got somebody from LA. He took the red eye.
You got someone from LA. Is his name 14?
We don't like keeping our next guest waiting, but
is his name Josh Warhawk? Josh Warhawk.
For an hour and 12 minutes. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I got another good joke to open the next one with. I'll see you guys next week. I love you. I love Josh Warhawk.
Thank you so much. Comic and Beyond Tech, everybody.
David Harris, you're a great man. Can I tell you that? I don't think David Harris knew the severity of what was going on. If I could just say that.
Thank you. That's the truth. That is the truth.
Yeah. But it's funnier when I lie.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm glad we're at a distance.
You got the north side now. The juice is on you, David Harris. You got the juice now, David Harris. There's no black people otherwise.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
Yep. And you would have 5 cents, David Harris.
Yeah.
Nick, we'll see you next week. Thank you for your second 5 all new minutes as Comic in Residence. Now, without further ado, you might have seen his beautiful face. Join our stream earlier in the night from Los Angeles, California, somewhere in the hills where he's vibrating.
Yes.
Optimistic intensity. All right, very good. Josh Warhawk! Whoa!
Hey! Whoa, I'm back. Guys, I'm here. I'm in my room. This is where I've been locked in forever. I've been here 9 months. I go out and run every day so I don't kill the 3 people I live with. That's how devoted to not killing them I am. Is I started doing fitness. That's really what this is about. Is like I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm just trying to stay sane. And it's not my fault. I'm getting better and better looking. I cut my hair, you guys. I had a big afro for most of quarantine, and I cut it because I thought quarantine was going to be over, and I was going to have to start seeing people again. And boy, was I fucking wrong.
Wow.
Every day since they relocked everything down, I cry that I cut my hair. Just look me up. on all social media and look for the hair, and then you guys can cry too because I love it so much. I've always had like shitty curly hair, but I've kept it short because you're supposed to. And I let it go, and it got glorious.
It was good. It was good.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be locked in, though. It's fine because then I don't have to go to Thanksgiving. I'm not invited, is what I'm saying. And now I have an excuse because 2 years ago, my cousin announced to all of us she got engaged. And I was the first one to speak. And I said, "Oh, cool. Congratulations on getting pregnant." And she wasn't pregnant. She just got engaged for love, which is the first time, in my defense, my family has ever done that.
Right. Oh,
Usually it's baby and then guilt marriage and then a divorce 6 years later.
Right. Oh, goodness.
So she did it backwards. The holidays aren't even fun at my family's for me anyways, because like I quit drinking 4 years ago and they all didn't. So my dad asked, this is a true story, 4 years ago. It was right when I quit drinking. He was like, "Hey, you probably don't want to come to Thanksgiving, right?" And I was like, "No, I do. I want to see like grandma and everything." He's like, "I just don't think it's going to be like your scene." And I was like family and hugs. And then I showed up at Thanksgiving and my grandma was sitting with all my cousins. And she was like, "Hey, I'm pouring shots. Do you want one?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "See you later." And Thanksgiving wasn't my scene. So I got that's my family legacy. They're all alcoholics and all have DUIs. Like some families have Harvard, Yale. We have the Ramsey County detox.
Right. Damn. Oh, dang.
Not that I haven't. I mean, I want to be loved by my family. So I joined the legacy young. I joined it in my early 20s and I got a DUI. And let me tell you, they're expensive, but I had a great time.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No.
It was great. Like now that Uber exists, there's not an excuse. But I was like right before Uber. Like when Uber was invented, like the year later, I was like, shit. If I would have just chose to get hammered that night, it would have been way better. But I'm gonna tell you my story of my DUI because I had a blast. What happened is I got arrested and then I didn't know at the time I'm allergic to alcohol, so my liver doesn't process it, so it all kind of stays in there for a couple days. So I blew super high. I got an extreme DUI, so I had to be there for a day and a half. And they give you the orange jumpsuit and they put you in a room with 20 other people who also got DUIs. They don't put you with like murderers. So like it's all through the night, like there's just people coming in and going to bed. And then in the morning the lights were turned on and I'm a scared white kid and I was in Hennepin County and I woke up and I was just kind of looking around like I'm like, who's gonna be mean to me? And this is how I become the blackest person, Nick. This black kid who looked like black me. He was just another nerdy kid. He just happened to be black. Out of the 20 people in the room, he looked me in the eye and beelined to my bed. And I had talked to nobody in the room. He looks at me and the first thing out of his mouth is, "We shouldn't be here." That's how I know racism's getting better because he didn't look at the color of my skin, but he judged by how big of a pussy I was. He was like, "This guy is also a pussy. I'm gonna hang out with him." And I was like, "Yeah, we shouldn't." And he was like, "I'm the head of marketing for a major medical company." He's like, "You probably have a job like that too, right?" And I'm like, "No, I'm a wine salesman. I shouldn't be here." It's surprising I haven't been here sooner, but I lied. And I was like, I work for a corporation as well because I'm not going to tell people what I do in jail. And then this other guy saw that we were regular people and he came over and he explained to us that he was arrested because he was sitting outside of his ex-wife's house waiting for her boyfriend to come over. And I was like, "I don't think you're in our club." And then after that, he said, "I know why OJ did it."
Oh.
Yeah, those are the two people I met in jail, you guys. I don't keep up with them. None of them added me on Facebook, which I asked. It was a good time. I've been having fun in the COVID. I've been, like I said, I've been getting better, and I've been just reflecting on stuff. Like I was in cheer, and I thought about this time. I was in a cheer competition in state, and I got a girl's number from a rival high school, and I was so excited about it. And then that girl thought I was going to be her new gay best friend. I was like, hell yeah. I was bragging to the team. I was high-fiving all the girls. They're like, finally, Josh will stop hitting on us. And I called her and I'm like, hey. And she's like, we should go shopping. And I was like, I don't think this is going how I think it should.
Oh.
I still have a very young face, you guys. I'm 33 and this is it. Like I haven't shaved in like 2 weeks and I'm still this. So like I look a lot younger than I am, and that benefits me until I tell people how old I am. Like I had a job when I moved here. I worked at a really nice hotel, and my boss came up on my 3rd week of work and she's like, "You're doing so great here. I can't believe you're so good at this job and you're so young." And I was like, "I'm not that young." And she's like, "How old are you?" And I'm like, 33. And then she said, "Oh," and then dropped her face and walked away. So what I'm saying is I'm doing great for the age I look, but I am doing terrible for the age I am. Just going through all the things I've read. It is good though. Like it's sad to have this face because I've been the manager of a restaurant, so I've had to fire grown adults looking like this. Looking like the middle child in any teen drama. Like I've had to be like, "Come to my office, gentleman with a beard and 2 kids. Let me tell you about how you're going to have to figure out a way to feed them." Don't feel bad. That guy was stealing. And then he was like, "You don't get it." And I'm like, "I didn't steal, and I have a brand new PlayStation. I worked for it." Guys, don't feel bad for any of this. It's just going to get darker. Like I said, I've been reflecting on stuff. Everybody's a fan of the Monday Night Comedy shows knows I almost died 5 years ago, and that's how I found out I was allergic to alcohol and everything. Everybody remembers me from that. And you guys remember when I was almost dead? I'm better now. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, that would have sucked if I would have died. That would have been, but like I checked myself out of the hospital to go do comedy, so it's kind of my fault, and I would have died doing what I loved. But then I remembered I had a neighbor when I was a teenager that died in an Applebee's parking lot. Like he was a grown man and he had a heart attack in an Applebee's parking lot. And that made me feel okay about me almost dying because at least my last meal was an Applebee's. Like he died there and then his roommate had to tell my mom and us. And I was like, that grown man died with a roommate and had 2 for $20 wings. I'm sure no matter what he did in his life, he got into heaven after that because God was like, well, I mean, it kind of cancels out, right?
Damn.
Nobody feel bad for that guy. I only knew him because he came over and hit on my mom a lot. My mom was like, I'm not going to fucking Olive Garden with you. Yeah, like I said, I worked at a hotel, which is sad now because I've been laid off for a long time because everything shut down in California, and it's really sad not because of like having a job or camaraderie, but the amount of things I used to steal from there has really put a damper in my budget. Like I didn't know, I haven't bought shampoo or bedding in 6 years.
Damn. Yeah, no shit. Dang.
Pillows, bedding,
Yes.
shampoo,
Yeah.
mouthwash.
Right.
If I was on Price is Right, and they're like, we're doing household items, I'm like, you just take them from the hotel, and then you walk around the back, and then you go up to the parking garage and put them in your trunk. Ain't that what everybody does? And here's the thing. I don't want to sound like a bad person. What I would do is like if the duvet cover I stole got dirty, I'd bring it back to the hotel, I'd bring it to housekeeping, and then I'd steal another one.
Right on.
I've had a lot of jobs like that. I work in hotels and I bartend, and working at hotels is weird because you get like people who stay for the week every week because they're business travelers, and then they start treating you like you're their best friend because you're kind of the only person who talks to them that doesn't work for them. I had a guy, I gave him a burger and I was like, "Hey Todd, how's your burger?" And he's like, "It's great. I think I'm gonna leave my wife." I know. I was like, damn, dude, do you want to get like the chili or like a chicken?
Oh.
I mean, our burgers are great, but let's keep your family together.
Wow.
You guys mentioned Josh Florg. That's gonna do it for me.
Oh, thank you guys. It's so good to see you.
Humans of the internet, give it up for Josh Florhog.
Josh Florhog. Oh, thank you, Josh. From Los Angeles, California. And before you go, Josh, I do want to thank you so much for being a part of the Monday in the last 600 shows. So
thank you for always having me on.
You've been an integral part, and we can't thank you enough. So thank you for being a part of our 600.
Hey, thank you for giving me a chance to talk about this weird shit.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. Let's see here. So Facebook.com/Josh of Comedy.
Yeah, Josh F Comedy on everything, and Josh F Comedy. And JoshFComedy.com.
Perfect. And you have a podcast.
I do have a podcast called Morgan's First Time. It's me and my girlfriend. We're trying to find ways to break up faster. So I'm like, let's start a podcast together.
But it's all movies she's never seen.
Yeah, she hasn't seen any hit movies. Like, if you guys all named your top 5 favorite movies, she hasn't seen probably 4 of them. So we're going through all of them. The last episode we did was the little indie film Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
We watched it and we started the podcast because we like talk about it before and then after. And she goes, John Candy and Steve Martin are really good physical comedians. And I was like, who would have known?
She's adorable. That's really cute.
Really funny.
It's really great.
This Thomas Cruise, he runs a lot.
Yeah.
Thomas Cruise. Excellent. Has she seen Cocktail?
Morgan, have you seen Cocktail? Have you seen Cocktail? Nope.
Okay. Introduce her to
Andrew's favorite
soundtrack
film?
first. And then
It is that is a really good movie. I love that movie.
yeah, it's Elizabeth Shue. You can't go wrong with her. And
Yeah. Tomas Cruz.
Tomas.
T. Cruz.
It's spicy. That's real great.
I've joined
Star Child religion name.
Scientology, so that's what I call him.
He's a Scientologist, right?
Yeah, so am I. I'm not.
Scientologist / comedian.
In Whole Foods, there's like free acting classes from like big name actors. I can't like Tony Shalhoub and stuff. And I don't know if it's Tony Shalhoub, but it was an actor kind of like Tony Shalhoub. And I was like, hell yeah, free acting classes with him. And it was like at the Church of Scientology, called RSVP. And I was like, ooh, almost got me. I was like, oh, this is how they get people to join because I almost don't want to do this.
So close.
And also, I faked being like Christian for a while. I faked being Hindu. This is just another thing I can pretend I'm into to get some free classes.
There you go. Just
I'd
don't
do
get
it.
hooked.
Should steal stuff from there, Josh.
Yeah, there you go.
I steal so much stuff.
Since you're such a thief.
Survival.
It's severance. You guys, they laid me off.
I think David's probably just worried because you've stayed at his house before, so he's just worried that you stole all his.
Yeah, what happened? What happened to my keyboard?
I just took certain keys off his keyboard. Like I was like, my W's all jammed up and my J's faded. So I'm gonna take both of those.
You know, if you tip the comics through Venmo, maybe Josh doesn't have to steal as much.
Oh, maybe.
We already have had a donation tonight by none other than J Money, the motherfucking hawk. Which he says technically it counts. He said don't give him any of the money, but I'm going to because that's hilarious. So I want to thank Kruger for his.
I am so great at
$23 donation.
Damn, someone's balling. I'm using Bath and Body Works travel shampoo that I'm putting water in.
Hell yeah, man! I'm using the perfume samples that my sister gets in her Macy's catalog.
You know what's funny is I was quarantined at my Uncle Louie's house, who's also a traveling comedian, and he was like, "Oh, there's no shampoo or soap in your bathroom, but in this cupboard, there's a bunch of hotel travel stuff." He is
out of curiosity, Josh, your Uncle Louie, how How much did he charge for a cameo?
I don't know how much he charges right now. I believe it's $100. I think he dropped his price. Yeah, but I only charge 10, so you could buy 10 of my cameos. And
I
I've
only
done
charge 5. He's gonna love all that.
We both got cameos for doing that thing on NBC, and they were like really acting like they cared that they got me too. Like they called our account. They're like really excited. You guys are doing that sketch about us on network TV. We're gonna get both of you guys so many cameos. And you guys, I booked a bunch of cameos that first month, and then I went right away.
What are you labeled? Are you labeled as Josh Florhog?
Yeah, Josh Florhog.
Or not that fellow who was with Louis at one time?
The guy in that Louis sketch. I've got to do. I really like it. I've got to do some heartwarming ones. I had to do. This guy really doubled down on my cheap price, though. I was like, no, that's 2 cameos. I was want to write him. He's like, hey, my friend's graduating with his master's in engineering, and he just came out as trans. Can you cover both those? And I was like, you dick. Those are two big things for this person. Why don't you get 2 cameos?
That's $20, Josh. I mean, it's a fucking global pandemic. Just okay.
And you guys heard how bad I am at segues with this. Think about how bad I was at segues with you graduated from engineering school. And then are also changing your gender. I'm proud of you both differently.
Do you get 2 cakes? I mean, what do you do?
You definitely get 2 dinners from everybody. Everybody should
Yeah,
take you
right.
out twice. Yeah. And also, it's kind of on him now that I think about it, because he came out right as he was graduating, and he should have done one after the other. Like right after all that like sweet graduation dinners started to wind down, he should have been like, you know what, you guys? I'm trans. And they would have been like, more dinners.
Right. Another round.
It's definitely
There
his
we
fault,
go.
Josh. He's the villain in this story, for sure.
It was really sweet. He wrote me that night. He said, this made me cry. Thank you. And I was like, you're welcome.
Sweet.
Oh. No. Give me 10 extra bucks, you freeloading bastard.
I was like, yeah,
The
your friend
was
said
the
that
problem.
you get me to the other one. You can pick which one you want to give me $10 for.
Cover the rest. Gratuity. It's
Let's
really
go.
great.
Percy, was that the link? Lunch. Well, yeah.
I flashed in them all.
Yeah. So follow these links. Go in the comments. Mercy's been throwing them up. You can see. You look up in Patrick Ryan Bauer. See, you know. Wendy. Got Nick. Yeah.
Who else
Sandy.
is here? I don't know. Who's that?
Greenscreen.com.
Oh, green screen. Get one of those pop-up green screens in case you want to
David.
just disappear and fade out into the background.
gotta
Just
get-
kind of hang out.
Or just
and just like
you guys don't see the brick
fade
wall?
yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
Your green screen's
It's like
broken.
real
What
stand
the
up.
hell?
It's like genuinely happening.
David, did you paint that wall just for a green screen so you could do Zoom
This is the only wall I have. It's not, I'm outside.
Big open floor plan.
That's great. That's great.
Goodness.
I just painted this little square.
Just what? Yeah. It's the only light I got. Yeah, you should put Peebow's trophies behind you next time.
Whoopsie. Don't look at that creepy closet. Yeah, no,
It was round.
those were my
It is
trophies.
round.
Where did he?
He's in my house.
David, just give
He's
us
behind
a tour
you.
of your house, please. Just walk around with the camera.
Welcome to the creepy closet.
It is.
Okay,
it was round.
It's a fucking green screen.
That's really great.
I thought it was a
That's
wall.
really funny.
It's not a naturally occurring wall.
Oh,
That's a rich man's wall.
This is my favorite color.
that's great. Oh,
David, you look like a guy who would paint it green and not get why everybody's weirded out by it. You're like, what? I like this color. It's my house. And people are like, it's not a house
I'm
color.
still-
and you're like,
I'm
it's
still
my house
wondering-
color.
Why is there a wood chipper in his basement?
yeah.
I'm still wondering why people. What?
Did you just hear? Please tell me you have a ghost.
Honestly,
It's
the,
in the
the woman
closet.
that lived in my house before me did die, but they didn't. I don't know if she died in the house or not. But it is scary.
David,
Come to my basement.
You didn't know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Josh first.
You only have to worry
bring
if
your
they did the
duvet or
autopsy.
whatever.
She can die all she wants, but if they did the autopsy and recited a certain chant, I've been watching too much Supernatural lately.
It's over.
So it's not over. I'm on season 9. I just started. I'm a late bloomer, but I'm a Dean guy. I like Dean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's Mercy?
Mercy Victor. He's one of the owners of Nano Taco Studios. He's like the head honcho, the boss.
Oh, nice.
He's running the bridge.
Yeah.
Hello, Mercy.
He's running the bridge right now.
Oh, I saw him before, I
There.
think. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
hard to recognize people because we're not in person with the mask.
Yes.
Yes, but you did see him before.
Yeah, we
I
also
did.
call him
Thank
V
you.
a
Thank
lot,
you, J. Mark.
He's our most popular troll. Tonight he's being a nice troll, and he's showing off links that you can visit and
David Harris live.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have an S. I'm gonna have an S appear on my website at the end there when I die, and then people will be like, "Wait, what?" When they go to it, they'll be like, "Wait, I don't know what happened." Is that a
That's what's
trick?
in your will. And please just put an S at the end of my website.
And no one take my green screen.
We'll bury it with you.
I want my funeral to be with my green screen, but I don't want anything on it.
I want to be buried with my green screen.
Who doesn't? You can take it with you. Folks, we're gonna close out the night with a video from our dear friend Tiffany Norton, who let us show all of the episodes of The Bitter Baker in order as they appeared. So she talks about certain holidays and certain events and themed months in her videos. But just go with it. You can go to YouTube and look up The Bitter Baker and subscribe to her channel, so that way you get notifications on all the new videos, which we highly suggest that you do. So thanks to Tiffany Norton. Tonight's episode is Red Velvet Buntini Into Your Marriage Bunt Cakes. Put your hands together for The Bitter Baker. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Welcome to Solitary, y'all. Thank you for joining me again for The Bitter Baker. Today, I'm pleased to present my new recipe. COVID was the case that they gave me. Prison bars. I think most people have wondered at some point whether they would be good in jail, whether they would survive in jail. And I think the last few weeks has proven to most of us, including myself, we suck at it. We have Netflix. You can go outside. You can drive a car. You can do a lot of things. The liquor stores have been deemed essential. Still can't cope. I think like a lot of people, I've been spending even more time than normal in the kitchen baking. I'm trying to cope with the fact that I don't have a dating life anymore. I'm living vicariously through my other friends. My friend Judy, I had a guy break it off with her because he got upset because she wanted to actually quarantine. So his suggestion was that they could meet up in the woods. I think since roughly 1980, a little guy named Jason Voorhees has taught all women, you don't go on a date in the woods. Yeah, if Corona doesn't kill you, he will. So this quarantine recipe is one I actually took from people that are incarcerated, and you only need ingredients that you can find in your average vending machine or prison commissary. So it's really easy to begin this recipe. All we're going to start doing is taking our Oreo cookies, separating them, and scraping out the cream filling and putting it in a separate bowl. We're going to reserve that. We're going to use that later. We will next crush all the wafers into a fine powder using a glass or a jar. I'm going to use my food processor because in my mind, I'm in one of those fancy mobster jails. We're going to add the following: a tablespoon of mayonnaise, a tablespoon of peanut butter, a quarter cup of sugar, and a little bit of water. We're going to mix this until it basically has the consistency of a brownie mix. I am disappointed though. I was having a really good COVID crush relationship going with this one guy I was chatting with online. I suggested a video call and he said he was too busy because he's a doctor. God, they're egotistical. It's all about them. And because Waste Not, Want Not in jail, we're going to use the original packaging from the Oreo cookies and we're going to bake it in the microwave for 5 minutes. Then we're going to prepare our cream frosting. We're going to use the Oreo cream or whatever cream you have left over. Wow, that sounded weird. Next, we're going to add a tablespoon of peanut butter to our reserved cream that we had from the inside of our chocolate wafers. If you're having a hard time finding an opener in an online dating situation, there are some appropriate socially distancing pickup lines you can use. I found this on the internet. Hey, babe, can I ship you a drink? I saw you from across the bar. Stay there! Next, we want to prepare our toppings. I have a Hershey's chocolate bar that I'm going to melt. I can only use my microwave, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up this glass of water for about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to put the whole candy bar, wrapper and all, inside the warm glass of water, and it'll melt right inside the wrapper. So cool. Once your cake is cooled down, you can begin frosting it with our peanut butter and cream mixture. Then start decorating. Add your favorite toppings. I'm using M&Ms. You could use peanut M&Ms, really any kind of candy that you have available or on hand. And our last step, we'll cut the corner of the melted Hershey bar off, and we're going to drizzle that across our cake. And we're done. And tune in next time when we make toilet paper cakes. Then we use them. Hello, and welcome back to The Bitter Baker. You may not be aware of it, but it is Mental Health. Are extra depressed about this pandemic because they're missing not their spouse, their work.
Oh, we need to Andy's mic, please.
Fun cakes.
I got you. You're on.
Fun cakes. Obviously, we showed episode 13 when we wanted to show 14. So now we're going to watch episode
to start with our
14 of The Bitter Baker.
To begin with 2.5 cups of flour.
I don't
1.5
have enough
cups.
snacks for
I don't
this
either.
shit, dude. Come on.
Yes, it is.
Fuck.
I'm peeking.
Ugh.
Here we go. We got
God damn
this.
it.
We got this.
Right. Nothing is fucked here.
That's the new name of the show.
Good. This is so fun. I love you.
You know what? While I have you here, 599th show, I'm going to talk to him about the timeshare. I'm going to do it. I'm going to talk to him about the Monday Night Comedy Show timeshare.
Ooh, I'm interested.
We have an incredible vacation opportunity for you.
Yeah.
It took us 599 shows to work out the kinks, but let me tell you, if you are a fan of timeshares or somebody who's gotten burned by a timeshare, just are we ready to go? Because I don't
Never.
I don't really know much about the thing about timeshares is
We worked really hard for these things.
yes. You know what? I'm gonna make May tell me.
You
May,
know what?
what'd you say?
Honestly, we worked really hard for these kinks, and we don't kink shame here. And so we're just trying to appreciate all of the little fun little nuances, and nothing is fucked. Everything is fine.
Nothing is fine.
Nothing
You're
is
right.
fucked here. Nothing's
Yes.
fucked here.
And we
Not
do
yet.
want to thank all the people who have been commenting tonight. The best one, Abby. Where do I sign up?
Line starts to the left.
Yeah, seriously. Well, this is my favorite. I think Sherry meant to say this right at the beginning when I first popped on the screen. The pain in the ass is back.
I was like, wait,
Great.
what? That popped in later. I was like, who's she talking about?
Which one on the screen? Yeah.
I was like, I'm sorry. I'll leave.
I was asked. I was invited to be here. Are we good? Excellent. We got episode 14 now of The Bitter Baker. We hope that you enjoy
2
it.
episodes in one. This is fantastic. We love Tiffany Norton.
Hello, And welcome back to The Bitter Baker. You may not be aware of it, but it is Mental Health Month this month, and I found something very distressing. There is a study that says that 1 in 4 Americans are extra depressed about this pandemic because they're missing not their spouse, their work spouse. So the reason why I'm preparing this recipe today is because I'm concerned that my work husband Clint is going to forget who his real work wife is. I'm his perfect mate. All of our inside jokes during meetings. I always remember his birthday. Who helped you embezzle that cash from Copenhagen? Would Karen do that? So today we're making red velvet buntini into your marriage bun cakes. Bunt in there? That doesn't really make sense. Well, I think we're ready to begin. I've already preset my oven to 350 degrees. And the first thing we're going to do is start with our dry ingredients. We need to begin with 2.5 cups of flour, 1.5 cup unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to combine that together in one bowl. You can probably tell I am the type of person that needs constant attention. Some people might call that codependency. I call it just coworkers. In a separate bowl, we're going to mix 1 cup of butter, 2 cups of just regular sugar, 4 eggs, 1 egg at a time. We want to fully incorporate each egg before adding additional ones. Then we're going to add 1 cup of sour cream, 1/2 cup of milk, and an entire bottle of red food coloring. Representing the blood, sweat, and tears I put into our Jim Pam office dynamic. Then 2 tablespoons of vanilla, which I call Karen. We're then going to incorporate our dry ingredients. Scraping the sides of the bowl, you really want to mix that well. So why would I choose this particular recipe for Clint? Well, I wanted to make something red velvet because I remember that he told me at our company picnic that was his favorite. And I thought that was really funny because he was wearing a red shirt and it kind of looked velvet, but it was a really hot day. It was like 80 degrees in August. And I thought, wow, that's too formal for an occasion like this, but wow, you look really good. So now we are going to fill up our little buntinis. And we're going to fill these about halfway, just kind of like a bun pan though, because you don't want to get it on the stem. You don't want to get it in the middle, just a little on the side. Once our cakes are cooled, we can frost them. And I'm just going to pipe in that buttercream frosting and I'm going to top them each with a raspberry. And I picked a raspberry because of our, because remember raspberries? Inside joke. And that's the recipe. Thank you again for joining The Bitter Baker. And don't forget to tune in next time where we're going to attempt to prepare a recipe my mother suggested. It's a dessert, it's British, and it's called Spotted Dick. It's been so long since I've seen one. Might take her up on it. It's a real
Viewers of the internet, that was the best.
The Bitter Baker, episode 14. Red Velvet Buntini into. Stop by next week for episode 15 of The Bitter Baker. Next week is our 600th show. That's woot. So everybody, tonight I have a huge heartfelt thank you so much for being a part of the Monday Night Comedy Show for nigh on these 13 and a half years leading up to this, our 600th show next week. So we absolutely can't thank you enough for saying yes to the Monday Night Comedy Show and making the Twin Cities and beyond laugh when so many others have stopped doing comedy altogether because the darkness overtook them, like in Neverending Story. The nothing got them. And but you guys persevered, and thank you so much. So thanks for being a part. Now I want to thank the audience. Everybody can take part in this. So clap for everybody watching tonight. Yay. You should clap for yourself because you choose global pandemic comedy. We stopped for about 2 weeks doing comedy, but we have persevered through this global pandemic, which shows no sign of stopping. I want to thank everybody who understands we can't let you into the studio. We got to be safe. We don't want to put these good people at nanotacostudios.com at risk, nor do we want to put us at risk or the comics coming in to perform. So thanks for understanding. We appreciate it. Kruger, do you have anything to tell the people? Yeah.
So the Mounds Theater in St. Paul is going to be doing, I think, a fundraiser show over Zoom. I'll be getting some information out about that. It is going to be a Zoom reading of a show they did last year called It's an Honorable Life, which is a fan production of It's an Honorable Life mashed up with some Klingon stuff and things like that. So that's me plugging stuff.
That's awesome. And you're going to tune in. We'll get more information for you, but it's something to look forward to. And you learn a bit, you bit of Klingons. That's cool.
Right.
That'll get you laid.
Right.
No, dude, I'm 39. Nothing gets me laid anymore.
Well, whatever, except for that tattoo that says "Fuck Patrol" on your chest. Yeah. If he was born in the wrong decade, he should have been born in the late 80s, so he could take over for Spuds McKenzie. Does anybody remember Spuds McKenzie?
Yeah.
Commercials.
Budweiser dog.
Yeah. It's Kruger.
I think the
This
target-
reminds me of someone who would have been right at home with those. You could, with Spuds McKenzie, you could surf, you could skateboard. I think I saw him hang glide once. Yeah. Well, I love our time together, but as with all good books, it has to end sometime. So put your hands together one more time for the Monday Night Comedy Show. Next week, we turn 600.
Yay!
It's like Highlander level. There can only be one. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. Be sure to rebroadcast and share. Say, I watched this thing last night, and you should Venmo them money. So if you have the means, we appreciate it. But be safe, be good. Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. Be safe on the double. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Citizens of the planet, the Monday Night Comedy Show is the longest running comedy showcase in the Twin Cities. Our choices have sometimes been questionable.
This goes out to all those people who didn't believe in me when I was just starting out. Now I'm going viral.
We were once called the weirdest show in town, and over the years, we lost some of that. We're happy to announce that bringing the weird back to the MNCS is an item on our to-do list. We ask that you take a chance and watch us each week at 8 p.m. Central. We're not only going to bring you a safe and fun way to see performers from all over the metro area, but all over the country and the world. We are the Monday Night Comedy Show. We've been doing this for over 13 years, so we almost sort of have an idea of how this works. Stay awesome and see you Monday.
Your life is best. Whatever you do, doesn't matter what you do.
Okay, today Matilda's gonna do a talk for us.
Today I'm gonna do a talk. Today we're gonna have a day off at work. And we're gonna rock out tonight. And we're gonna have fun and make our lives free. We get to go out in the world and adventure. Just because our boss doesn't let us go outside, it's a new world. And we're gonna go outside. If he won't let us go out, then we're gonna go out anyway and break our lives through and rock out and go burn houses down and suffer and beg for food, get in people's houses, break into them, get food, steal it,